Hi there, in this video we'll be learning about the functions. So start with the understanding of the functions, and to know how can we represent the functions, these are the three set notations of the functions. In all the three different forms, it means the same thing, that f of x equals to x plus 3. So why we use the function is basically when we sub in the x value into the functions, we can get the y value, or if we know what the y value is, the functions is used to find out the x values. Here we have got the first example now. Remember that this f of x, we read it as f of x. That's how we read the f of x thing, which is f bracket x. We have got the linear function because that's given us 2x minus 5. This is that f of x is 1.5. Here, the bracket value represents the x value. So here x is 1.5. So we're going to rewrite now, and so we're going to write it as... So we will going to write it down as what happens if we take the x value equals to 1.5, what we're going to get the y value would be. So function of 1.5, where x is 1.5, it would be written as the double of 1.5 is a 3, and 3 take away 5 would be minus 2. Now what happens if we are finding out f of minus 2, which means that here the x value is minus 2. We're going to sub the x value with the minus 2. So 2 times by minus 2 take away 5. And that would be simplified to minus 4 minus 5 would be minus 9. Here we have got the next example. So what we get the function if we are finding out for x is equals to minus 1.5. So to find out the function value, if x is equals to minus 1.5, you need to replace the x with a minus 1.5, and there's a minus 5 then. You make a double of it. So double of 1.5 is a 3, and you multiply with the negative sign would be minus 3. Minus 3 and minus 5 would make a minus 8. Let's have a look to the different kind of the example, which is a quadratic function now. So here, because it's a x power 2, it's a quadratic. And to find out for the quadratic function, the process is the same. So we are finding out g of 3. It means that here this 3 represents that x is 3. You sub in x3 into it. So that would be 3 square plus 3. Because we know that 3 square is a 9, then 9 plus 3 would be 12. To find out the value of g of minus 3, it means that x is minus 3 here. So you replace the x value with the minus 3. Remember that whenever you sub in any value into the function, it must be in the bracket. So if you write it down with without the bracket, it would give you some different answer, which I'll going to show you in a minute. So see that whenever we are subbing the x value, it must be in the bracket, as I said. So it would be minus 3 square plus 3. Now, minus 3 whole square means the same as minus 3 times minus 3. Negative and negative makes a positive, and 3 times 3 would be a 9, and 9 plus 3 would be 12. But let's say if you're not going to put that with a bracket, it would come out as minus 3 square and then plus 3. Now minus 3 square, it never means that there's the two minus signs. That would be minus 9 plus 3, and that would be minus 6, which is going to be wrong. So remember that whenever we're going to replace or substitute any value, you're changing the variable with the value, it must goes in the bracket so you get the right calculation. Here I'm going to rub this off so you're not going to get confused with this working out. We're going to see the next examples now. Here it says that find out f of a. Here we know that x is a, so we're going to write it down as 3 times a square minus 4. Now the simplification of a square would remain as a square, so it would be 3a square minus 4. Given that f of a is 23, find out the values of a. Now, what f of a is, we can use from the part a, which is 3a square minus 4. And this says that that is equals to 23. We are rearranging it in such a way that we'll be able to find out the a value from here. So we're going to do the inverse operation now. The inverse of minus 4 is a plus 4 on both the sides. So now we're going to do minus 4 plus 4 would simplify. We'll get 3a square equals 23 plus 4 would makes 27. Now we do divide by 3 on both the sides, and you will get a square equals to 9. To simplify it, the square root of a would be plus minus 3. So here we have done different types of the questions on the functions, which is like really basic questions. And I hope you understood this topic. And These sort of question does come up in the exam for roughly about like 2 marks. So it's really simple. It's just you have to sub in the value, whatever the value is given to you for the x, and then you're going to simplify it after. Thank you. Thanks for watching the video.